In the annals of history, there are stories of bravery, heroism, and triumph. However, there is a darker side that lurks in the shadows, a side where dishonesty destroys trust and devotion transforms into betrayal. Today, we dig into history to learn the terrifying tales of the top 5 deadliest traitors, whose betrayal rocked empires and permanently changed the outcome of wars. History has been marred by treachery from prehistoric times to the present. We will go inside the lives of these notorious betrayers in this video, removing the layers to uncover the reasons for their betrayal and the disastrous results of their deeds. Our investigation won't end there, though. We'll delve further, revealing obscure information and finding little-known facts and incidents related to these notorious betrayals. Prepare to be astounded and enthralled as we set out on this terrifying expedition into the murky corners of history. Welcome to Core Touch, where history comes to life. Make sure to subscribe to our channel, Core Touch, for more gripping content on history, mysteries, and much more. Let's now shift our attention to more recent history and discover Vidkun Quisling's involvement with Nazi Germany in World War II. During Norway's occupation, Quisling, a politician from Norway, is notorious for his cooperation with the Nazis. What, though, made Quisling betray his own nation and people? Quisling was driven by an intense desire for power and an extreme right-wing philosophy. He viewed the Nazi takeover as a chance to further his own political goals and establish his totalitarian regime in Norway. In addition to betraying his nation, Quisling enabled the ruthless repression of the Norwegian resistance by working with the Nazis. His actions caused hundreds of Norwegian citizens who opposed the occupation to be arrested, deported, and executed. The Norwegian government tried and found Quisling guilty of high treason after the war. Since then, his name has come to represent betrayal and cooperation, acting as a sobering reminder of what happens when someone betrays their own nation for their own sake. Vidkun Quisling, a Norwegian politician, collaborated with Nazi Germany during World War II. He believed that by collaborating with the Nazis, he could advance his own political ambitions and establish his authoritarian regime in Norway. What drove Quisling to betray his own country and people? Quisling was motivated by his extreme right-wing ideology and his thirst for power. He saw the Nazi occupation as an opportunity to further his political ambitions and believed that by collaborating with the Nazis, he could seize control of Norway. For Norway, Quisling's cooperation with the Nazis had disastrous results. He was in charge of thousands of Norwegian civilians who opposed the occupation being arrested, deported, and executed, in addition to facilitating the ruthless repression of the resistance movement in Norway. The Norwegian government tried and found Quisling guilty of high treason after the war. Since then, his name has come to represent betrayal and cooperation, acting as a sobering reminder of what happens when someone betrays their own nation for their own sake. Let us now investigate Benedict Arnold's betrayal of the American Revolutionary Army. During the American Revolutionary War, General Arnold of the Continental Army was well known for his betrayal of the American cause. But what terrible thing was lurking in Arnold's heart to make him commit such a heinous act of treachery? Arnold has several reasons for betraying people. Arnold felt ignored and undervalued by the Continental Congress, despite his enormous contributions to the revolutionary cause. In addition, his thirst for attention and personal benefit was stoked by his financial difficulties and animosity toward his fellow officers. Arnold established communication with the British in 1780, giving them access to vital military data, including strategies for turning in the strategically important bastion at West Point. Arnold's treachery has terrible repercussions. Even though his plan to turn in West Point was foiled, the betrayal severely damaged Arnold's reputation and undermined the Continental Army's morale. Though Arnold escaped capture and served the British cause, his name has since become synonymous with treason in American history, serving as a grim reminder of the perils of betrayal and the significance of loyalty to one's country. A commander in the Continental Army during the American Revolutionary War, Benedict Arnold is renowned for his valor and leadership in combat, but he is also associated with betraying the cause of the United States. What made the highly decorated combat hero Arnold turn against his own nation? Arnold had complicated reasons for betraying. Arnold believed that the Continental Congress disregarded and undervalued his contributions to the revolutionary cause. In addition, his ambition for recognition and personal gain was exacerbated by financial difficulties and anger against his fellow officers. Arnold established communication with the British in 1780, giving them access to vital military data, including strategies for turning in the strategically important bastion at West Point. The fallout from Arnold's treachery was devastating. The treason damaged Arnold's reputation for eternity and undermined the Continental Army's morale, even though his plan to surrender West Point was thwarted. Despite his ability to elude capture and his subsequent service to the British cause, Arnold's name has come to represent treason in American history, acting as a warning about the perils of betrayal and the value of national allegiance. Finally, let us reveal Mir Jafar's betrayal at the Battle of Plassey in 1757. The leader of the Nawab of Bengal's army, Jafar, is notorious for having betrayed his commanders during this crucial conflict. What darkness, nevertheless, overcame Jafar to betray his own king and become an ally of the British East India Company? At the Fight of Plassey in 1757, Mir Jafar led the troops of the Nawab of Bengal and is renowned for having betrayed his own sovereign by siding with the British East India Company, which helped the company win the fight. What drove Jafar to turn against his own king and form an alliance with the British? Jafar was motivated by a desire for wealth and power. He recognized an opportunity to depose Bengal's Nawab, Siraj-ud-Daulah, and use British assistance to establish himself as the new ruler. Jafar made a covert deal with the British in which he promised them large land concessions and a substantial sum of money in return for his treachery. Jafar's treason had enormous ramifications. British domination in India began when the British East India Company, with his backing, triumphed in the Battle of Plassey. But in the end, Jafar's betrayal allowed the British to plunder and colonize Bengal, causing the inhabitants of the area great misery and sorrow. The treachery of Mir Jafar is a terrifying reminder of what happens when a person puts their own ambition before of loyalty and morality, and the terrible effects that can befall entire countries and their citizens. In conclusion, we have peeled back the layers of history to expose the stories of the top 5 worst traitors and the chilling betrayals that shook empires and altered the course of battles. From Judas Iscariot's betrayal of Jesus Christ to Mir Jafar's treachery during the Battle of Plassey, these tales serve as stark reminders of the dangers of betrayal and the profound impact it can have on history. Betrayal has not only shaped the outcomes of battles and the rise and fall of empires but has also left a lasting legacy, reminding us of the importance of loyalty and trust in both history and warfare. If you found this video as captivating as it was informative, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, Core Touch, for more gripping content on history, mysteries, and much more.